The Alchemical Hydra is the last Slayer boss a player unlocks and rewards the player with great alchs, prayer XP, and most importantly, sweet uniques. The only requirement is 95 Slayer. However, I also want to mention in this section that you can only get the task from Konar. I highly recommend the Korin and Kabos Elite Achievement Diary to allow any boots to be worn, as well as the Rod of Blessing 4, as well as 88 Agility for the shortcut, but it really is not necessary. This guide is going to focus on the melee method, so only melee equipment is going to be recommended here. You're going to want to bring your best melee gear for this, of course. Since it will only be on task, you're going to want to bring the Slayer helmet, as it's the best in slot for the headpiece. If you do not have the Elite Achievement Diary completed, you need to wear boots of stone, brimstone boots, or granite boots to prevent taking a ton of unnecessary damage in the area. This will kill you. If you die, make sure to put on another pair before retrieving your stuff so you don't lose items from dying again. We want to bring our best stab weapon. However, the dual max are also sufficient enough if you do not have a decent stab weapon. Lastly, I recommend Bracelets of Slaughter here if you are chasing uniques. Extending this task can be handy, as task hunting can be a pain sometimes. For your inventory, you'll want to bring your spec weapon of choice. If using a defense lowering spec before the Hydra does its first roar from being hit by the vent. The other spec weapons I recommend using during the blue phase. I'll talk more about that later. You want to bring runes for high alching, a method of teleporting in and out, a way to deal with being poisoned, super combat potions, and the rest will be filled with either prayer restoration and food. As you learn Hydra, you will start to bring less and less food. If you are still learning, I recommend starting 50-50 and then start to bring more prayer restoration as you learn the fight. You can get there via the Fairy Ring CIR. The mountain is a short walk north of this Fairy Ring. You may also use Rada's Blessing 3 or higher, which is unlocked after completing the Corinne and Kabos Hard Diary. Rada's Blessing 3 offers 3 daily teleports, while the 4th provides unlimited. Once you make it to the elevator, you'll go down, run north, and either jump over the ledge or go through the 88 agility shortcut. From here, you'll see Orvar outside the ledge that you jump to get to Hydra. Orvar is who you will also collect your stuff from when you die. For this method, we're going to utilize the Tile Packs plugin to import our tiles. Once you've installed it from the plugin hub, search Hydra and turn on the melee tile set. This guide will show you how to utilize them. Before you go through the doors, sip your super combat and turn on Protect for Magic. You'll run to the tile labeled Start. If Hydra's first attack is range, swap to range. Range looks like the little spikes, and magic looks like slimy snot. Once Hydra is next to the number 2 tile, proceed to attack the Hydra. After the Hydra does its first neck throwback, swap prayers and run to the 3/4 attack tile. You'll proceed to swap prayers every 3 attacks, and then once the Hydra's HP falls below 825, it will change to blue. As it's doing this animation, run to the first blue tile. Once the Hydra is part next to the number 2 blue tile, proceed to go to it and continue hitting the Hydra. After a few attacks, the blue Hydra will shoot out lightning balls. Continue hitting it until the one is shot out next to your player. Proceed to the 3/4 attack tile and then run straight west along the wall to the number 4 tile. Once your character is on the number 4 tile, immediately click the number 5 tile. From here, once the Hydra is next to the red number 1 tile, proceed to attack it again. I highly suggest using your damaging specs here. It'll help phase the Hydra prior to doing another lightning phase attack. Depending on how close you are to 550 HP left on the Hydra, if it shoots more lightning out, either continue attacking it and soaking the damage, or run clockwise around the Hydra while hitting it every 5 ticks or 3 seconds. Once Hydra hits 550 or lower HP, it'll phase to the red phase. Stay on the tile labeled 1, as this will help get you into position later. Continue attacking Hydra and swapping prayers. It's very important here to keep track of the last hit the red Hydra does before the very last phase, so keep tracking. I like to count like R1, R2, R3, or M1, M2, M3. After a few attacks, Hydra will start walking towards the middle of the lab. If you were attacking the Hydra on the number 1 tile, your character will naturally path to the number 2/center tile. The red Hydra will proceed to spit out 2 fire waves. We will need to prepare to move to the tile labeled 3 skip soon. There are 2 ways to decide when to do this. You can either spam click the number 3 tile once the fire wave hits the tile that says skip when fire hits wall, or when you see the Hydra start to move its head again after it shoots out the second fire wave. Continue to kill Hydra. If you are unlucky on hits, the red Hydra will do the fire waves again. The moment you recognize this, go to the tile labeled 2 and do the tile 3 skip again. Once the Hydra hits 275 or lower HP, it will phase to its last phase. It will always start with the opposite attack than the last attack of the red Hydra. That's why counting is important. From here, every time you see the Hydra shoot a projectile, swap to the other one. If you see a range projectile, go ahead and swap to magic. If you see the mage attack, swap to range. Once you see the projectile, it's safe to swap. On the 4th attack after swapping, the Hydra will spit out poison. So after you see the 3rd projectile, step to the 4th attack tile and swap your prayer like normal. Once you see the Hydra's head animation start, move back to the red 3 skip tile. Proceed the fight and swapping prayers every projectile. After the 9th projectile, Hydra will do another poison attack. Just run about 4 tiles around Hydra, but staying within melee range to continue damaging it. Do this until you kill it. Good luck on the uniques. Thank you for the continued support on the channel. Don't forget to check out the creator crafted link in the description below for some awesome OSRS gear, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.